right, so DC recently put out his list of the top fighters of all time. As you can see, there's his list up there. Number one, Floyd Mayweather. Number two, Khabib. Number three, Muhammad Ali. Number four, GSP. Number five, Amanda Nunes. And this is a list of fighters from all different sports, not just MMA or not just boxing. And in the video below, he gives his justification for why he put out this list. And dude, it is breaking the internet. People are losing their mind. Um, let's go right ahead and watch the video, see what his justification for it is, and then we'll briefly talk about it. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out, see what he has to say.
You are on first take,
Yes, I am.
All
Yes,
right,
I am.
you know how much I love you now.
Yes.
But I hear that you got a list of your top 5 fighters. I'm talking about in all sports.
Of all time.
Transcending all sports. Of all time. Now,
Is the right list.
it better be.
Is the
you
right
champion.
list. It's
You
like-
like heavyweight champion, heavyweight champion. You're supposed to know this stuff. Don't come on first take
Hey.
with the wrong list.
Stephen,
Lord
it
George.
won't be the wrong list. Now, as Doggy the other
Let's
day
see.
put all kind of old basketball players on his list, I got a few old fighters on mine. But at number 5, we're gonna start with the GOAT, Amanda Nunes, the greatest female fighter of all time.
Can't do that.
Featherweight champion,
Can't knock that.
bantamweight champion,
All right.
defended both titles,
Okay.
has just really made other women look very
No question.
average when they're in. And she's beaten Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, Holly Holm, all the best female fighters of all time. Amanda's beaten them.
Okay, no,
At number 4,
Okay.
all right, at number 4, I have George St. Pierre. The great George St. Pierre, champion at welterweight, one of the greatest UFC champions of all time.
He is
Middleweight champion, won that belt
question.
in Madison Square by coming back after years off and beating Michael Bisping to become the champion at a weight class above his own when he was past his prime. At number 3, this is where you might disagree with me.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali. Number 3.
Number 3?
Just relax.
Number 3?
Just relax. Hear me out.
Number
Hear me out.
3?
Stephen A., hear me
Oh,
out.
Lord.
At number
Oh, my
3,
Lord.
at
Oh.
number 3,
Oh.
the great Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers of all time. What he did transcended sport, but here's the difference, Stephen A. He was a pillar of our community. He did so many things outside of the boxing ring, and I think at times that is why we elevate him to the greatest boxer of all time.
Beat Joe
But
Frazier,
he's
beat George
Frazier,
Foreman,
he's beaten
the
Foreman.
Thriller in Manila,
He's beaten them all.
the Rumble in the Jungle.
But Stephen A, he's
I mean, are you kidding me?
Stephen A, I reserved the top of my list
Sonny
for the.
Liston?
I get it, Stephen A, but I reserved the top of my
Oh,
list
my
for the
Lord.
undefeated. Muhammad Ali was not undefeated. I cannot put him at 1.
Go
At
ahead.
number 2, we go to 29-0. The Eagle of Dagestan, Habib Nurmagomedov. Because guess what, Stephen A?
like it, Ray.
For all that Muhammad Ali, and I'm not putting him on the same level.
Okay.
Khabib is fantastic. He could have won and defended that belt for as long as he wanted. He beat Conor McGregor. You were in the building.
Yes.
You saw the energy.
He mauled him.
Oh, my
He
goodness.
mauled him.
The way that he
He mauled
beat Conor McGregor was second to none. And at number 1, we just got to go to Las Vegas, Stephen A. Floyd Money Mayweather.
That's
At
a funny
49-0,
number 1, bro.
This
What
guy
the
is the
fuck?
greatest fighter of all time, the greatest boxer of all time, greatest promoter. Everybody wants to talk about, well, he beat Canelo when Canelo wasn't ready. He beat Manny Pacquiao. It doesn't matter when he beat him all.
Okay.
And every time someone stepped in against Floyd Mayweather, they got beat.
Okay.
This is my list.
Yo, this man said Floyd Mayweather is the greatest fighter of all time, bro. I mean, okay. So, there you have it. There's DC's list. I know a lot of you are probably like, what the hell? You're scratching your head like, what on earth is going on? And I think it's very important that we remember anytime this conversation comes up, this conversation of who's the greatest of all time, who is the pound for pound best fighter of all time, it is always going to be a subjective list. All right. It is very, very difficult, almost impossible for us to get an objective list. Because for something to be objective, it has to be verifiably true, right? We have to have a way to verify that it's actually true. And there's just no way to verify that whoever you put at number 1 is actually who the number 1 best fighter is. They're never going to fight each other. You know what I mean? There's no way. We're not going to all send them to an island and be like, all right, whoever comes out alive is number. You know, we can't do that. It's all going to be subjective, based on what we all value, based on what we don't value. There will be multiple different reasons for why we insert a fighter and for why we take a fighter out of the list. So there you have it. This is DC's list, and I'm not here to tell you that DC's list is wrong or that it's right. It's his list. All right. That's who he considers to be the top 5 best fighters in the world. Now, I am also allowed to think it's a hilarious list. Again, I'm not saying it's wrong. I just think it's funny because there are boxers on his list, right? If I was to make my own list, there will not be a single boxer on there. If I was to make my own list, Amanda Nunes would not be on there. And my reason is, especially at number 1, man, I would not put somebody at number 1 that will not know what to do if you were to take them down and mount them. Somebody that would not know what the hell to do if you put them in an armbar. Someone that would not know what to do if you put them in some sort of leg lock. Someone that will not know how to defend a double leg takedown. If you were to grab them from behind, they wouldn't know what to do. If you were to throw a roundhouse kick to their head, they wouldn't know what to do. If you were to throw a spinning wheel kick at them, they wouldn't really know how to defend against it. I wouldn't put somebody in there that has never performed a single judo throw in their life. Someone that doesn't know how to take an opponent from standing position to the ground because they've never practiced some sort of takedown, whether it's your regular wrestling style takedowns or judo style takedowns. I wouldn't put anyone on that list that doesn't know how to fight from every single possible position that the fight might go to, which is why I just wouldn't put a boxer in there, regardless of how proficient and how talented and how lethal boxers are in the world of boxing. It's also why, as much as I absolutely adore and love Gordon Ryan, I wouldn't put Gordon Ryan in my list of best fighters in the world because Gordon Ryan doesn't know how to strike. He's an excellent grappler, the best of them all, but I wouldn't put him on my list of the best fighters of all time because he's a specialist, right? So when I take a look at this list and I see boxers on there, to me, it's just funny. That's all. It's just funny. It's not wrong or right. It's just like, it's a little weird, but okay, right? So, one more thing that I think we as fans of fighting in general will need to come to an agreement on is like, what's the definition of a fighter? Because every time this conversation comes up, at least a big reason why people refuse to put John Jones in there, even though John Jones is one of the absolute best fighters to ever exist, but people refuse to put him in there is because, well, he failed a drug test, multiple drug tests, because he's a cheat, he did cocaine, he abused his wife, he ran into a pregnant woman. There's a list of awful shit that John Jones has done outside of the cage, right? Why people say he should not be on that list. He has forfeited his right to be considered a great fighter. But here's a question. It's like, to be a great fighter, do you also have to be a good person? Now, that's a question you're going to have to answer for yourself. And for all of us, the answer is going to be different. For me, I don't think so. I don't give a shit. Like, for me, I put a big ass line between both. I can recognize that somebody is a piece of shit and also recognize that they're a fantastic fighter. And if you're asking me, is this person a great fighter? I know how to go, yeah, he's a great fighter because of what I've seen him do inside of the ring or inside of the cage. If you're asking me, is this person, is he a good person? That's a completely different question. I don't mix the two. I don't go, oh, to be a great fighter, you also have to be a great man. But again, it's a question you have to answer for yourself. Is that a criteria to being a great fighter in your book? Does the person also have to be a pillar of the community? Because for a lot of you, you insert fighters and take fighters out based on that. How good of a person are they? You could say, to be a good fighter, you need to be someone that the kids can look up to. Really? Kids are looking up to half-naked men beating the shit out of each other. That's what the kids should look up to. Anyways, that's a conversation for a different day. Here's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm not even going to give you guys my own list because it changes. I can tell you who will be on my list. I can't tell you who's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I can't do that. I will say on my list, you're going to find John Jones. On my list, you're going to find Khabib. On my list, you're going to find George St. Pierre. On my list, you're definitely going to find you're going to find Anderson Silva on my list for sure. And on that list, you're going to find it's tough. It's tough. Because on that list, I would absolutely put Usman in there. Right? But again, that's just my list. And it could change depending on how I'm feeling. And that's why I say there's just no way to be objective about it. The two names I know that will constantly be on my list is GSP and John Jones. Those two names will forever be on the list, regardless of what happens. But like the rest of them, like it's all changing. So, anyways, let me know in the comment section what you think about DC's list. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? And also let me know in the comment section what your list is. You don't have to list it in order. Just give me names of fighters that you would include in your list, and why. Why would you include them in your list? And I'll leave it at that. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like on it. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Have a good one. Time to go play some more God of War, baby.